You're watching CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susie Sun. Here are your top stories right now. College campus protests amid the Israel-Hamas war are still ongoing here and across the country. Kcal News reporter Jeff Nguyen has been monitoring the situation at USC all day.
Right now, the parties involved are not saying where this meeting is taking place. Our sources will only tell us that it is somewhere here on campus. In the meantime, security at both UCLA and USC have been increased following what went down over the weekend. On Monday, workers power washed a Palestinian flag painted on the sidewalk outside the USC campus, which continues to restrict access to staff, registered guests, and students like Ahmed Kareem.
I had to show my ID, I had to tell them what room I lived in. I thought that was extremely bizarre.
Hey, let her go! Let her go! On Wednesday, protesters clashed with police after USC banned them from setting up tents, calling that a violation of rules on the private campus, which says it does respect the freedom of speech. Over the weekend, the Tommy Trojan statue was among the targets of vandalism. This Palestinian student who asked us not to reveal her name says a coalition is demanding the divestment of funds from companies tied to Israel, and they want a ceasefire in the war between Israel and Hamas.
The school wants to villainize us and pretend that we're harassing students, we're causing a safety issue when there's a decent amount of students on campus who don't even know we're still here.
But Jewish students like Kobe Russo say they faced anti-Semitism on campus.
There is other ways for Palestinian civilians to live freely, like a two-state solution, but these people that are protesting, not only here but throughout the country, are striving for the complete abolishment of the single Jewish nation.
Across town at UCLA, there were scuffles between dueling demonstrators over the weekend, but the encampment that popped up here last week has been allowed to stay in place. Reporting on the campus of USC, Jeff Nguyen, Kcal News.
A young bear caused a major commotion in Castaic today. It was on the move for most of the day, in fact. Kcal News reporter Lori Perez is following the bear's movements.
I'm Lori Perez here in Castaic Lake, where we are on a bear watch across the street. I want to show you, you can see a fish and wildlife agent. She has been standing there. The bear is currently in a tree just beyond her, that really thick, dark tree right there. The bear is about halfway up that. He's been there for maybe about half an hour. This is the third tree that we've seen him climb since we've been here near the Castaic Lake Recreation Area. This juvenile bear, they think he's about 2 years old. He has been making his way around town since early this morning when he was first spotted in a neighborhood. He was in a housing complex, then he went over to an apartment complex. He jumped a wall and he was running through yards and behind houses, and then he made his way over here to the state recreation area, where it's a little more fitting for him to be, but not exactly his natural habitat. They are watching and trying to push him back to where he belongs. They made several attempts. They did try to dart him. They tried to get him into a cage by tempting him with some tasty treats. It didn't fall for either. So now they tell me it's just going to be kind of a watch and see, and hopefully he'll naturally head back to his home.
Turning now to your weather, it was a dry and beautiful day in our region, but what can we expect for the rest of your work week? Meteorologist Olga Ospina with the details tonight. Hi, Olga.
Hi, I'm Olga Ospina with a look at what is next in your forecast. We are coming off some really warm days. The good news is that warming trend is going to stick around as we continue through this new work week. Windy still across some of our mountains and deserts. We have a wind advisory in place, but a dry week ahead, mostly clear skies. So we're all going to be seeing some sunshine, just a little cloud cover near the coastline for the next evenings and early in the morning. But other than that, we are in for a really nice week ahead of above average temperatures 2 days in a row for downtown Los Angeles today, topping out at 75 degrees. And tomorrow we will continue with still plenty of 70s and even some 80s for some of our valleys, including Santa Clarita, 84 tomorrow. Antelope Valley In the low 80s for Lancaster into Palmdale, and look at the Inland Empire. It is going to be another warm one out there as well. Those wind gusts do continue strong, especially for the Antelope Valley with 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts, as well as along the I-5 corridor. So those are two of the spots where we're seeing some of those strongest winds, and those areas under a wind advisory. This has now been extended until 3 o'clock on Wednesday for gusts of up to about 50 miles per hour. But look at the next week ahead. We're looking at minimal rain chances even into Sunday. So here's a look at the next 7 days. Temperatures in the 70s turning into 80s by Thursday, Friday. That's when we start to feel those offshore winds kicking in. Valleys, you will get into the mid 80s by Thursday, dropping down into the 70s by Saturday. So a nice weekend ahead. Another hot one for the Inland Empire. And here's a check of the deserts, the mountains, and the beaches.
Well, not all news is bad news, and that's why we are launching a new streaming show this week called Happy Hour. Alex Biston has a preview.
Hi, I'm Alex Biston. A lot of uplifting news happened this week. Here's your daily dose of Happy Hour. We are taking you on the wild side, a local sanctuary rehabbing exotic animals.
We have everything from large tigers, mountain lions, leopards, bears, all the way to smaller exotics like foxes, monkeys, coyotes, porcupines, and then all the way down to our barn animals.
The Forever Wild Exotic Animal Sanctuary sits just outside of Phelan. Here, they help previously abused or neglected exotic animals. Thousands of visitors come from everywhere learning about conservation and, of course, the importance of protecting wildlife.
We'll take them in and we just care for them and give them happy, peaceful lives from that point. They originate from either transfers from other facilities that can no longer house them anymore, or they do come from places such as magic shows, circuses, roadside zoos, photo shoots, people who had them illegally as pets that didn't care for them.
The shelter hopes to expand in the future to provide even more room for these animals to roam. Be sure to join us Friday nights at 6:30 for our streaming show Happy Hour. It's a weekly cocktail of positive and inspiring stories of the week, guaranteed to bring you good vibes. To watch, download the CBS News app on any device or check us out on Pluto TV.
This has been CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back live on Kcal News at 8 here on CBS News Los Angeles.
Kcal News, now weekday mornings from 4 to 11.
CBS News Los Angeles, your local news, streaming wherever, whenever.